Hello everyone, it's me, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about Widow. I know last tier list, I've kind of, I mentioned in the tier list that Sombra and Widow are the worst design characters I've seen in the game. I know I over-exaggerated, but it's just to get my point across. They're obviously not the worst designs. Like, obviously if they were, they wouldn't be in the game, because Blizzard is a big company and still does not make it like any better that the state Widow and Sombra are in right now. And I guess today I'm gonna talk about Widow. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna talk about Sombra. But I always had a gripe ever since I saw how Widow played. Like in the beginning, obviously when you start, you don't know what the hell is going on, and you feel like, oh wow, she could one shot. Seems pretty. That seems pretty strong. But then as you play the game more, you realize like how genuinely annoying and broken it is to play against Widow. Now, I am by no means a like good Overwatch player. I'd say I'm pretty decent at the game, but I'm by no means a good player. And you know, sometimes you don't necessarily like have to be good yourself to understand issues of a game or of something in a game. The thing with Widow, right? They tried to nerf her, they tried to do all these kinds of things, but it ends up... It's the same situation with Skull Merchant and the other characters. Like, you try to change them, nerf them, buff them, but at the end of the day, player satisfaction is what matters the most, right? Is what matters the most, right? And if you have player satisfaction at a low because of how a character is designed, nerfing or buffing them is not going to change that. Now, you could obviously nerf them, but they're still going to have those scenarios where they do the thing that they used to do, right? And that is because the core design of that character is flawed. And in any other game, right? In any other game, it would be acceptable for there to be like a sniper that one-shots with a headshot, right? But considering that this is a team-based game with one tank, it used to be 6, so Widow wasn't that big of a threat back then. It used to be 2 tanks. I said 6 as in 6 tanks, my bad. I meant tanks. 6 players in total. And because of that, Widow wasn't that prevalent, right? She was still really good, but she was like, you could do something against her, right? And I do understand that you can do something against her now as well, but it's so minuscule and you have to go so out of your way that by doing that you are just... It's first of all a horrible experience. Nobody likes playing against the Widow, especially if the Widow is good. And then on top of that, you have to play something to counter her and her specifically. What do I mean by that? First of all, you have to play a dive character. However, considering that good Widows never play too far away from their team, their support, such as Kiriko, their support, such as Mercy, can always come in with callouts or just to look behind and see that she's getting attacked. And they can come over and they can help her survive while also dealing damage to you. And I think that's the main issue here, right? Because people take into account, they're like, oh, but you see, she's so easy to dive. First of all, I don't personally think she's that easy to dive. Sure, her natural counter... One sec. Her natural counter is Sombra, right? But the thing with Sombra is she is also a problematic character that I'm not going to go into depth about. My point here is that Widow has way too much potential, and the way she fundamentally changes the game around her is extremely unhealthy for the game. A lot of people have been talking about her, and it's just never gonna stop unless she's completely changed, but then you would ruin her identity, right? And that's kind of the issue here, because they removed for a while Hanzo's one shot, right? They made him do like 220 damage or 15, right? And that made him a shit character. Though he's good at dealing with tank armor and whatever and tank health, he by himself was bad. And then everyone kept talking about, hey, if you can remove Hanzo's one shot, why are you keeping Widow? And I personally don't like to go into arguments with people and with the community, because I believe everything can be resolved without arguing. I believe a discussion is the best way to handle issues of something you enjoy playing. Or so if you had an issue at work, you don't yell at someone for it, you explain to them, hey, what you did here, it made me either uncomfortable or it made me not want to be here anymore. I would like you to stop that, or I would like you to change how you look at me or whatever you do, right? And because of that, in my opinion, Widow is forever going to be in this state where either she's very shit because they try to nerf her, or she's still in the game and people keep complaining about her. I don't think she's gonna get removed. I don't think Blizzard's gonna remove any character ever. And because of that, I think we're gonna just keep talking into the void, right? Because no matter how you address her, if she doesn't one-shot, she's shit. If she doesn't, like, if she one-shots, she's oppressive as fuck. And she will never be in the state, unless she's nerfed to the ground, where people are going to be like, yeah, this is great. She's in a great spot where she can both play well, get a lot of value for the team, but she's also not oppressive and doesn't make the game miserable, right? And the same as with Sombra. Just not to that extent. And in my opinion, because I'm a Genji main, I hate Sombra way more. But I do think Widow was a bigger issue in the game. Now, how would I fundamentally change the character? Is there anything you could even do for her? I honestly don't even know. Like, what can you do for Widow to not make her shit? I don't know. It's genuinely beyond me. I have no idea what you could do. I've heard suggestions that you mark an enemy like this, your scope has to be on them for it to charge. So, you know how you immediately can pre-scope? Boom, like that. You would have to do this for a little bit and then you can headshot. That way, if you miss, it's way more crucial because you cannot get it as soon as you used to before. And then on top of that, you'll also be less of a threat. And you also won't fundamentally change the game around you. Now, we've had a similar issue with Nurse, and Nurse is still the best killer in the game. Even though I don't play Dead by Daylight anymore. That is the issue. It's the core design. And I see the same thing with Widow. She's extremely oppressive in good hands. You cannot play around her most of the time. Because guess what? She also has this. And then you have to either reposition. Like, look at this. You can play from such a far angle that it doesn't matter how you play. Like, it doesn't... She can reposition herself on command. See? This is where she starts to get fall off. From this point on, unless I didn't fully charge it. No, I just didn't fully charge it. Yeah, so... Widow is always going to be an issue unless she's fundamentally changed. See? Now she cannot one-shot from like 200 meters away. That's my issue. So personally, what I would do is I've seen suggestions where people were saying, hey, what if you make her, for example, do the marking thing, right? Or what you can do is you can give her a slightly shorter cooldown, but you can also, on her grapple thingy, so she can reposition more. But then, on top of that, she would do damage over time if she headshot him. So let's say, this, okay, that's a bit much, but you get the point. Let me put it on like Kiriko or something. So we have a better representation. So Kiriko has 225 health. If I shoot her anywhere in the body, it's half of her health. Now, what I can do, let's say, this is how it works. You shoot someone with 100% power, and then you do a little bit of damage to them. But then, over time, you deal damage. It's like a venom mine, right? And maybe that would make her better to deal with. But then, would it make her impossible to, like, do anything with? I'm not sure. That's where you should maybe compensate in other stuff and maybe give her more venom mines or make her venom mines do something else. Make them function a bit differently. To compensate for that nerf. Because she, let's face it, she needs a nerf. So, she doesn't just need a nerf, she needs a whole change to how she functions. Else she's just gonna remain the most oppressive character in the game. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Short little video for you fellas, which dragged on to be 11 minutes. Well, there you go, I'm making content, Jesus Christ. Yeah, those are my changes. I kind of saw a couple of them in the comments somewhere of a video and whatever, or a couple of videos, but I don't know. I don't really know. It's hard to change Widow because she... What else? Well, look, she does damage over time. A sniper does damage over time. I mean, Ana kinda does that, but yeah. Depending on how quick the damage is, yeah. Anyways, you guys have a great day, and yeah, I'll see you later, aka tomorrow probably, for a Sombra video. So look forward to that. Bye bye.